Okay, so let's see what we get here. I might have to edit this, of course, because sometimes there's some parts that I won't. If it's like
Okay.
too personal, for example, then where's the share screen? Oh, okay. So first of all, I have to open the files. So what are you having for dinner? Sorry, I'm
A
nosy.
T-bone. It's okay. I have T-bone steak and mashed potatoes.
Okay. How American of you.
Right? Yeah.
I'm vegan, so I don't eat
Oh
meat
yeah.
anymore. I kind of basically mostly vegan. I'm not like one of those. I try not to be too crazy about it. Like I mean impose, but I mean like because I do it for my health.
Hmm.
So anyways, because I have a Boron here, an Irish drum, and I didn't wait anymore for the synthetic one because it's like, why am I waiting? Like I don't know. I felt like it was just too much pressure on me. It was just like no. So
Nice.
you sound like
What
you're gonna
part?
say something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What?
I was just gonna ask, like, what part of Canada are you in?
You know where Alberta is?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm in Edmonton, the capital.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you been here before?
No, I want to go see
Mm,
there someday, though.
okay.
I think it'd be really pretty.
Technically, yeah, you were born in the same time zone as I am, but now you're in Alaska,
Yeah.
right? So I'm kind of, you know what? Actually, let's go to that later. I'm kind of curious if so have you been practicing any of that stuff? I'm going to delete this
I
part later.
no, I haven't. I've been interested in it recently since like last year.
All
A
right.
little bit longer than that, but more of like kind of learning about it. Not really practicing any of it.
Do you know any of your clairs? Are you,
I do not.
um, okay. I'm not saying, okay, I'm not suggesting anything, but I don't know. I think my gifts started coming along when I started, to be honest. I don't know, because it's for me, it's my biology. When I started um, reducing like my intake of like animal-based protein. But it depends on the person too. I've heard people who need require more meat, not heavy stuff like meat, like lighter meat, when they start to do channeling. For some reasons, because it pulls you up so much that it's almost like you need to ground yourself.
Mhm.
So it depends on the person. I think it might fluctuate. I don't know. Again, it depends on your physiology, whatever it is. But yeah. So
I've
sometimes
seen
I
a
got
lot
pulled for
like
this. Sorry, go ahead.
oh sorry. I've seen a lot like your diet and like certain habits kind of affect all that.
Yeah. But it depends. Again, it still depends on the person though, I say. Like again, their
Nice.
physiology. Which we can actually take a look in the charts if you want. But we're gonna take a look at your fixed start chart. So let's see here. No, I'm gonna yeah, I'm just gonna yeah. It's okay. I'm not gonna share the screen because it's like really it's kind of structured differently. It's not like a chart.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. Okay, so you have your sun in Sagittarius, 25 degrees. You have its conjunct galactic center. So based on my notes here, galactic center. Let's see here. You know what? I'm just gonna go on. See, this is why I said I'm new to this.
It's okay. It'd
Um,
be good practice.
yeah, let's see here. Philip Sedgwick talks about the what's that? He talks about the again the black holes. So these are actual different galaxies. I'm gonna open up another tab. Hmm, okay, here we go. Okay. Um, so what I know about the black holes is because if you think about black holes, they very much like gravitationally pull at matter. I don't know if you've ever taken physics or
Mhm.
astrophysics or astronomy. Um, they pull. So what happens on at an astrological level, not an astronomical one. It's interpreted as this pulling thing. Like it's you tend to draw people without them knowing. Um, and take a look at my shortcut notes here. Where did I put that? Oh, okay. Here we go.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah, like it's almost like it doesn't make sense. It's like where's that coming from, right? Okay, so here we go. Okay. So crowding process pushes out the mentally, emotionally stored data to clear space for information to enter both the conscious and subconscious minds. I'm quoting this from Philip Sedgwick. He's done research on this. He's also an astrologer. Often the information released does not follow the sequential pattern. Holes are left. Okay, let's see. Those connections to the galactic center benefit from the same basic maintenance agenda. When devoted applies to their computer. Logically, it makes sense to apply the same respect. Some to the same apply the same respectful, regularly scheduled um, regard to the self, which is the source of knowledge. Every now and then, review what is known as serves as the Z personality or Z, we call it in Canada. The first step consists of reviewing information to observe what knowledge became superseded by new information. Um, it just keeps going on. I had a shortcut here. Hold on. Oh, here. Okay. So insights found in everyday things. You're very, it's tied to your sun. So it's part of kind of like what you find enjoyable. It's part of your identity.
Okay.
Um, uh, you get like new ideas because it is a Sagittarian thing. Um, okay, so as if their previous thoughts, ideas were flawed, but when shown a different way, inclusion, possibilities, openness, but they won't realize it till. So what this does is it's almost like I remember this one. Um, if you, because of your placement in the sun, it's almost like the things that inspire
Fuck
you
you grabbing it.
when inspire others, it's almost like they're what do I call this? It's almost like the people you interact with, that you encounter and counteract with, you encounter and also interact with. Um, uh, it's like a later realization. Does that
Okay.
make sense? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Um, so for example, it says here, so you have quantum fields access, solutions, inspiration, guidance in everyday things, center our being through consciousness. Um, there's intention and focus. Um, again, the black holes are kind of weird for me. So, okay. So it says here in early signs, these conjunct the sun means it's up for grabs. What can I delete? So old beliefs that are not of the highest good for all, so that I can actually grow. Um, so it's okay, yeah, people notice something magnetic and powerful when when it's aspected to what's called the personal planets. So personal planets are the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, all the way to Mars. Um, so it's almost like you've come here to kind of shift the consciousness, but it's out of your control, actually. It's almost like you're doing it subconsciously and you don't know why, right? You're not just attracting people, you're doing things that might change things for others and you don't know why.
Or even like aware that I'm doing it, huh?
Yeah, it's not an awareness thing, it's subconscious. Probably, I would say, in Sagittarius, because it's in Sagittarius, it's super conscious. We have this term in astrology, it's called super conscious. It's not just conscious, it's like way up there. Um, yeah, okay, so that's your sun. So, and that means that also means that you are from a from another galaxy, basically. There's no pictures of it. I usually would like to see what they have. But you know what? I'm gonna do something right now. And I don't usually do this with astrology. I am going to see if I can channel it. So it's gonna take me a while, okay? So I'm just gonna
No problem.
apparently I'm connected to the extraterrestrials, which makes sense because I do get messages that I don't understand. It's like, what? I get so many images and it's just like, what's going on here? Um,
Do they just kind of come to you out of the blue sometimes?
yeah. And sometimes you'll get like sometimes it'll be psychic, sometimes it'll be mediumship, sometimes it'll be channeling, sometimes it'll be your past life. So I'm gonna try past lives. I'm using things right now that help me with that as well and see what happens. I kind of see if I can get something as well. See if we can
Yeah.
tie this in. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe they're giving me a message instead for you. Oh, okay. Keep seeing things that are spilling.
Spelling.
Something being filtered. Are you filtering anything? Are you filtering through things? Would you understand that? I'm seeing filters.
Filters, like,
Yeah, like sifting, filtering. It's like I'm
um,
getting,
sort of, I guess, yeah. Trying to filter, sort through a couple different things.
I keep getting images of like popsicle sticks. I feel like this is a bit psychic, but they're definitely coming to me. I'm seeing I'm seeing intergalactic beings. They're kind of like I don't know, are you working through colors? Are you change? I feel like there's this sort of a I'm seeing factory images, like when you're in a factory, it's like there's like these I don't know what these are, like rolls. I don't know what's going on here, but they're different colors. Are you going through a lot of changes?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me ask them if do they know anything about your past life, honestly. Oh, okay. Oh, it's weird. Something came up. Um, I don't know if you came through a mouth or a portal, being a huge, immense, like humongous shark. It's like devouring something. I don't know what it was. It's like coming out of the water. It's very kind of just it's keeping its mouth open. Seeing circular objects, but it's between inside like a square, but it keeps changing form. I don't know what that is. And there's another circle in it.
You, last time when you did one for me, that very first time, you said that there was a lot of circles in that one too.
Mhm. Seeing some kind of rack. I don't know why I'm seeing a rack. Why are they showing me a rack? Okay. Why are you showing me this? So, feels so psychic. Like things in rows. I don't know if you it's something about rows. Were you born in a metal, like sort of steel, like crib? Were you born in something like that?
I don't, I'm not sure. I know I was born in like in a regular hospital, um, at least for here.
Okay. Keep getting windows and doors and okay. Something about a mirror. It's like moving. The mirror is moving, but it's like I feel like they're showing me like because I asked them like, how did he come here? Or does he's come from another galaxy? Because I feel like they're showing me. Are you coming in? Did you come in here when there was like feels like there was a storm? I'm seeing storm, like a house with it's very storm and windy. Something about chaos or a chaos, but it was like uncertain times. Like it was kind of like wind shifting. These could just be like an earlier past life. I don't know. Oh, okay. What is this? Okay, more circles, but it looks like the shape of like, when you have an angel, like a bunt, like a thing. It looks kind of like that, and it has it sort of looks like a roulette wheel, but it's like has wires around it. What is that? It's I don't know if it's how you came or okay, they're showing me books. They're showing me somehow. I don't know if you're here to change the winds of time or something about knowledge. They're giving me books. I'm seeing books. So, like just a short stack of them. Or would you understand that?
Um, maybe like uh, trying to learn something. Maybe
Seeing
with the
another.
mirror.
Okay, seeing more doors. I feel like I don't know what it is. If the door fell apart, I don't know what that is. I feel like it fell apart. It just broke off. Something about reopening doors, like or breaking off doors, removing, and I don't know what it is. It's so interesting. Something about like a bag or a satchel. Like yeah, there's lots of pencils or pens attached to it. I feel like there's something about a record. I don't know, something about record keeping? I don't know what this is. Record keeping, knowledge. Um, hmm, I'm seeing the crib again. This could be psychic. I don't know. I'm seeing okay. This looks like a stereotype, like, for girls. It's kind of wearing pink. White crib, pink. She's wearing pink, blonde hair. She's wearing pink. It's like a little cute dress. She has kind of like necklaces around her, kind of like she's playing around with it. It could be that you're a female in a past life. Uh, you like it's a current past life, or it feels modern. I'm seeing matches, like matchsticks, but they're not in a matchbox. They're in like some sort of like a spice rack. It's like, what's going on here? Hmm. They're kind of falling also. So something about falling, um, removing. Let's see if I can hear what they're saying. I heard Pied Piper. Did you understand that? Something about Pied Piper. Message? It's weird. I feel like you're here as a messenger, some sort of like you're here to learn at least. That's- Okay, thank you. Hmm. Just as I'm about to get, and he keeps showing me the crib. I don't know. I'm sure I'm being shown a crib. I feel like it's something to do with rebirth. I don't know. I'm gonna get out of it. Thank you. All right. So I don't know. That's what they showed me because I asked them. It's like, okay, how did you come here? So I feel like it was through a portal. Because I've been told that when you come from different galaxies, there's portals was taken that would be taken rather. So yeah, at least in your most recent life, you came from far away. So you kind of went far. Because a lot of times when you talk about fixed stars, it's within this galaxy.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So um your next one, actually this last second last lifetime you were in, I was told that I learned that when you're going through the planets as you astronomically speaking, as you go sun, the moon is the next one in astrology. You go all the way out to Pluto. That would be like that's an older past life. But you're talking about the most recent one. That's the sun first. The moon is the next one. What I'm seeing here, it's in Fomalhaut. Fomalhaut is actually I did my what do you call this? Sorry. I did my research on this a little bit. So let me see what I get. Um, so I might have to do partial fixed star stuff today, but I want to try and do the other stuff like your path, your life path, because that's still kind of tied to this whole thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Sperlmahout is actually connected to one of the archangels. It's a royal fixed star. It's what you call the royal fixed star. When I say royal, I mean Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Uriel. They
Okay.
often represent the four horsemen of the apocalypse. If you were raised in a religious household, which we might see in the chart, um, Fomalhaut is that. Actually, Fomalhaut is Gabriel. He's the messenger. It's about messages. So that makes sense. Okay, so I feel like it's not the sun. It's the other past life. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay. I'm getting doors. I'm not getting books. Okay, so the doors must have been okay. Thank you. The doors are the ones from the most recent past life, but the one before that was in the constellation of what is this constellation? Um I'm gonna double check it in the chart here. Starts. Oh, that's weird. I didn't think it would do that. I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Okay, so it's in the constellation of Pisces, which makes also kind of sense. Your moon is in Pisces. Okay. So typically what this means is like you are I guess let's see here. Because I'm not looking at your chart. I'm looking at others. Oh, you weren't that popular then. You okay. But usually Fomalhaut represents fame. So but if it was your I'm going to get technical here, okay? I'm going to use astrological terms, but this is also for the recording. Your sun, your moon, and your sun are actually square to each other. And what that often means is that sometimes you have challenges with decisions, with what you want and what you need, your basic needs, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so, but tying in the fixed stars, it's almost like that affected like where you come from. So one side you were like all like way out there. So you came in as like sort of like a stranger. But in a previous past life, it's almost like you came here before. Technically, you were well known, but or you were well known in that constellation. Um, but then when you did it, when you basically were starting to come to Earth, you were you went further away and then decided, oh, I'm going to go further. You know, it's just it's interesting. But the thing is, I believe that with the archangels, because they're way out there, it's almost like you took this like huge jump between you know your past like your life that your soul chose to go this way. Now you do have past lives here on Earth. I would think so. Okay. Um, I don't know what I'm sensing in terms of like, because I'm not like that strong yet. Like there's other people who I find, I'm not saying I'm not so strong. I am, but there are people who quickly get where you come from. Like when I say come from, I mean like whether you're like an old soul. Um, and you got being called to these cards. I don't know what's going to come out, but if it's your old, you know, like with the way you talk, I feel like you're very yeah, you're very. Have you been told that you're kind of peculiar?
Yeah, one of the guy that actually kind of got me a little bit interested in this type of part told me that I was a little bit different when he did it like he read my hands, if that makes sense. Not like my lines, but like my fingers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He said that I was like a really, he didn't, not like, I don't think enemy was the word, but he said I was like a really strong, predominant.
Yeah. 'Cause I can sense that. I sense that right away. I was just like, oh, he's very quiet. He's not like quiet, like shy quiet. You're kind of like contemplative quiet.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fits me, my personality too.
Yeah.
I kind of observe most of the time.
Well, it's okay. Wow, I'm getting cards for you today. Wow. Okay. Interesting. It's almost like they want to come out. They want to just like they want to tell me about you, and I'm not sure what's going on here. Well, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's enough. They're telling me it's enough. Okay. Um, first card I got. So it's weird. I thought I'd do astrology, but I feel like I need help with this because I'm just not getting it much. Okay, Thanatos. This explained the shark thing. It feels like some sort of Thanatos is the warden of the gods. This is a Greek word for God. I don't know if you can see that, but it's
Hmm.
like sort of that. Okay. So he's like messenger. Okay, this explains the whole formalhaut thing. You see the wings there? You
Yeah,
are some kind of messenger. You're here to bring transformation. You're here to um change. But at the same time, you're very mysterious. There's a lot about mystery about you. People don't really know you that well. It's almost like, oh, he's way out there. But definitely as like the winds of change. That's what I was seeing in the vision, was seeing in the images. Um, and you're definitely hearing the thing. You see the matches I saw? There's this like little a torch.
Yeah.
That's the matches I saw in the visions. Okay, that makes total sense now. Okay, that's why this one came out. And this one has come up before, but I've never seen it connected to this. This is wonderful. So you hear too really about completion, support, expediency. So that's why I saw the winds. I feel like you're here to bring about that change, but again, in a very mysterious way. You're very quiet about it. I feel like there's this little butterfly right there, right?
Hmm.
I don't know if you can see it. It's like blue. He's holding a blue butterfly. Sorry about the background image. And I feel like that's showing me that thing that your change you're supposed to I wouldn't say bring about. It's more about it's that butterfly effect. It ties in with the black holes. You're making these changes, but it's like a butterfly effect. Things that you do subconsciously, it's like right. Um, but it's there. I'm getting the sense that it's like something about again, like change, but in a very like the flames are quiet. They're subdued flames, but they're still burning. So there's
Right.
that butterfly effect thing. Okay. And Set, you have the Prince of Avarice. What is avarice? I forgot what that means. Short-sightedness, ambition. Ooh, narcissism. Oh, okay. I'm not saying that you are narcissistic. There's something about narcissism here. There's something about confidence, not necessarily about narcissism, but kind of like getting what needs to take place happen. Um, it's weird how he's like drawn here. I feel like it's still connected to the death thing, but it's almost like the transformation comes through like through observation, through it's weird because it's like how do you create change through observation?
Yeah,
Right? But
right.
it's like, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I was
yeah. It's almost like he's acting like a secondary, like, angel of death. It's almost like he's saying, this has to change. Um, and he has this like very, like, you can't tell. He's like, is that a horse? Is that what is that? That's why I'm getting this sort of alien figure. So you are very, very extraterrestrial. I can tell right away. It's just like, okay. But you've come here to, again, just be kind of like the guide. I'm seeing the staff here as sort of like you're here to kind of control things. I feel like there's that toppling thing. I saw images of like sort of like racks, but they're kind of like I don't know what to call them, but there's like they're kind of connected to each other. It's like a domino effect. Ah, that's the butterfly effect. Okay, that's how I'm seeing the domino effect. Things were falling, but it was like there's another one that was like a st when you have those bars that hold you and like when you go on a roller coaster ride? It's
yeah.
like those, but it's like kind of like chairs, but it kind of went and it was just like domino effects or it's a very strange thing. That's why I asked you, it's like, were you born like in the metal crib or something? Like were you it was interesting. And I did keep getting the crib because I felt like it was like a rebirth. It's like a rebirth. The prince is the forgotten adversary. Sorrow, lost valor, serendipity. Ah, right. That explains the lost valor in your previous past life in Fomalhaut. You were popular. You were loved. You were part of like this circle of energy that it's like, oh, you are seen. But now it's almost like you are not seen. Interesting.
Hmm.
So it's information. So yeah, okay, that's why there's formaldehyde here. This is what came to me. It's like when I was doing this research, it's like, oh, full of air, the information. So airy, lofty information. Um, I feel like there's something about um things that you've said or things that you've gone through that were kind of like, is that information useful? What is that?
Right.
Right? Hmm. Especially with your sun and your moon square each other. It's almost like both are connected to spirituality. But because they're square to each other through the signs, it's that whole where what info how can we use this information? That makes sense why you have this like the full house placement. I'm getting this card as well. So it's almost like this burning desire to like you're very patient. I'm seeing here you're very patient. The fire is coming through. That explains your Sagittarius energy, right? It's coming through, and there's wisdom that's going to come through. So I feel like it's tied to your base chakras. It's almost like you are grounded in thought. I feel like this energy, the red colors and the yellow and orange, because this is the lower chakras, you're bringing that forward into, I feel like it's grounded thought, grounded wisdom, grounded, you know, because it's tied to this whole sorrow thing, the lost valor, serendipity. So by kind of being open to the information that flows through either you or the people that you work with or people that, magnetically get attracted to you or some for some reason, then it's almost like you're there to kind of how do I explain this one? It's through that observational energy. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like it's something to do with that. Would you
Okay.
understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Fomalhaut is also showing me here. It's like it says, knowledge is power, right? Um, breaking down of the old systems. Okay, that's why Sanatos. Okay, that's why. So you're here to break down the old systems. You're here to reawaken, not just awaken, but reawaken, inspire. Okay. At least that's where you came from. That's the energy you bring in. Okay. Um, very idealistic, spiritual. Okay. But again, there's this sort of like challenge that you've had to go through in this form because one is seen and one is unseen. Mm, you're here to open things. Ah, that's why I got the holes and the doors. Okay, so you're opening. Okay, entry and entrances. Oh, interesting. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. Oh, okay. Fish, whale. So I was seeing a whale, not a shark. That's interesting. Okay. And you're here to kind of show the gifts that you have from previous lives and being creative and innovative. So you're here to inform people again. So it's tied to Gabriel. I don't know if you've ever talked to anybody who said, if you, I feel like maybe you are working with Archangel Gabriel or he's working with him. I don't know if you've ever gotten that, but that's what I'm getting. So,
Nice.
yeah. So what else do we see here? Um, um, opposite of Orion. Apparently, Orion is there to, what is this one? This one the information here I don't have myself. I haven't done my research on it the way I intuitively get it. But Orion, let's take a look at what Orion. Orion is like a constellation. Oh, no, no, it's a fixed star. Is it? No, it is a constellation. Constellation of Orion, but it is Alnilam, Alnitak Nebula inside. Oh, several. In an older past life than the one before, three past lives ago, you jumped into three places. Or at least you were there, so probably longer. I'm not sure if it's longer. Let's see here. Alnilam. And then there was another one. I can't get information on the other ones, sorry. But there's this one specific fixed star, Alnilam. So it says here that right, it's like right, we're in Saturn. So very shows very patient. You bring in that patience from an older past life. Mm, hmm. Um, you you're very loving, like you kind of like you had not loving per se, but yeah, but at the same time, like so it says your romantic problems. These are these are the definitions or the descriptions of ancient Roman or ancient philosophers, I believe philosophers or astrologers or astronomers. Um, so, but you do bring in that strong energy, like very, call this, you're very, this is your studious, so you're very focused, you're very like set, you're very like in the moment. Uh, it says here, irreligious, treacherous individuals, these stars medievals, medieval times were said to presage those who were passionately devoted to hunting. Oh, okay. Would that explain your, I don't know. Do you ever hunt? Are you an hunt? It feels like you're, I'm not sure. You've hunted before?
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
hunt.
Okay. Okay. So, um, okay. Shrew, it says here. Oh, okay. So like you are very, you like to look for things, or like I feel like something about that's kind of that hunting thing, right? Because it's Orion. Orion is the archer. Um, Okay, so it says here, on the lamb, the fixed star was generally brighter message with its pearls and jewels on the belt. So it's in the belt and jewels of Orion, the constellation.
Okay.
On the lamb is in the area where the belt is. So it's almost like um, you're holding things together. Feels like it's something about holding things together. Mm, you don't like a lot of like attention or bravado, or unless it's, doesn't mean anything. Um, do you have leather jackets?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Ah, okay. Explains your short hair. Or did you used to have long hair and then you had developed short hair?
I've always usually kind of kept it pretty short. It used to be longer than this, but
Okay. Oh, um, something about your diaphragm. I don't know what that is. Hmm, that's interesting. I'll have to see what. Okay, actually, I can take a look at it here. It says here, um, so interesting. I'm not sure how to read this one, but it's like something about your diaphragm, like where you. I can't tell. Oh, it's in the third house. So, okay, so. That's Sagittarius in the third house. Okay, so you are very curious about information. You're very drawn to information. It makes you like learning. You have these like taken for granted skills as well. Um, I don't know, it's 25, 22 degrees opposite of in the ninth house. So that means I'm not used to looking at words. I'm used to seeing charts. Okay,
yeah.
let's see here. Is there another? Oh, it's just that. Oh, wait, where's the other one? Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. So I feel like you're coming. The one thing I know about this one is that you're probably coming into your gifts when it comes to Orion, like being, what did they say here? Kind of like that very, a lot of energy, a lot of organizational abilities, um, sharp mind, good memory. That's what they say here. Yeah, the hunter thing. It's that energy of like you are there to go for it. Like you kind of like, like a go-getter sort of energy. But because it's more grounded though, it's not just you're very patient in that regard. So when it comes to information, it's almost like do you feel like you're coming into your powers, like the gifts later in life?
I think so, yeah. Like I've been
Okay.
noticing more and more stuff. Like I've always like pay attention to the stars and looked at the stars a lot. Like a lot,
Okay.
a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll have to see what the asteroids say about the potential gifts that you have. Not just the what we call the nodes, because that's your life path, but also the this one right here. Okay. So the sun is a huge part here. So I would say um you are coming into those gifts like yes. So you also have here Hydra. So try and Alfred Hydra. They come from the constellation of Hydra. And if you're wondering what that means, Hydra, sorry, I lost a star. Alfred. So you probably, I'm not sure how to read trines, but I feel like there's something about shape shifting. Is that why I was getting circles and shape shift? I feel like there's shifting. Do you feel like you're guided by a shapeshifter?
Um, possibly. I see a lot of like black, not orbs. I see them out of like the corners of my eyes, and then when I look, they're kind of not there. There's like three or four of them, a lot.
Black orbs. Interesting. I feel like it's a
Uh,
portal because I feel like if you came from a black hole, meaning through a black hole, like through a different galaxy, that's kind of like a portal. I feel like it's. Um, yeah. Man, this makes me want to go further into galactic astrology, but I'm too busy with the what I call the micro-astrology. I'm doing so much right now, and then I'm going to synastry as well. Anyways, digression. So I feel like you are being guided by that. Something, okay, let's see what they say about Alfred here. Mm, okay. Um,
that would probably be a question for a different time, huh? Like who your guides are.
yeah, I don't know. There's people who can get that more. Um, but let me see why they got those cards. Something about, hmm, I think this is the card, right? This is the prince, right? You're here to not only get those changes that I mentioned earlier, but it's like this here, Alfred is it imparts its natives wisdom, knowledge, a great appreciation of the arts, a knowledge of human nature, negatively, it gives an native troubles, anxiety, losses, intemperance, revolting deeds, turbulence, strong passions, or lack of self-control, suffering, and self-destruction. So I feel like it's
Hmm.
not that. I feel like I feel like it's
Uh,
more about yeah, it's for what? Sorry?
that remember that guy I told you that was reading my hands? He said like
Yeah.
I had an energy like really strong from like my feet all the way up to like the heart area. And then he
Yeah.
said like at the heart it just like blocked off. He said that he got a really strong thing about like why are you trying to self-destruct? Like
Okay. That makes
I don't
sense.
know, but like I don't feel like I am, but
We'll have to see. I definitely will have to see your chart now. I'll finish this up right now with the sun. I don't know how to read the other parts here. Um, but there's guides. I don't know if there's guides with you that are very like in your past life guides, like our Spica and Arcturus. These are gentle beings. They're much about information as well. Very, I think about technology. I think they're good with technology, but they're very much about the information as well. That's what I know. Again, these are things that I still trying to get to know. It's a big, huge thing, like with galactic astrology. So you can tell it's galactic. So, okay. Let's see what your charts actually say now when it comes to your path. You still want to keep going?
yeah,
Okay. No, I
yeah.
just want to, just want to make sure. Okay, let's see here. Is that one? Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So I see here your sun. Yeah, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the screen now. Time to share the screen. All right. Sun conjunct Uranus and Venus. That explains the placement of the other fixed stars. Um, so typically what this means on a basic, when I say basic, I mean it's just an astrology thing. The sun conjunct, you have your sun conjunct Uranus and Venus. Typically what this means is that your experience with learning as a child here on this plane, this earth, was did you I feel like you change a lot of like you had unexpected relationships. It was kind of very strange relationships with children, like your other classmates in elementary school. Um, and at the same time, let's see, it's because of okay, the, they definitely saw you as strange. So when you isolated, that's the best time for you to like regenerate and be like, okay, I don't get it. I'm not getting. You actually did not understand people. It's almost like
Yeah.
they're the ones who are strange to you, but to you it's just like, no, this is just how I am, right?
Hmm.
Very drawn to like anything philosophical, like you resonate with knowledge that is learning that is philosophical and it's really also high up there. So school was boring.
Yep.
School was definitely boring. Okay. Um okay. And you naturally, when you relate with people, you weren't sure whether you um, kind of egged them on, maybe on a personal level, like maybe one-on-one kind of, it's showing me Eris retrograde here in Aries. So there's a part of you that did naturally relate with people who were also different. So you were kind of like the rebels. You were the game changers. You were catalysts. And, that's how yeah. That in itself actually shows me um, because of the rebel nature that you came from, also being surrounded by people who are kind of unsure about their own freedom and their own sovereignty and their own, being themselves. Um, Growing up, you've had to kind of keep the peace. You've had to be like, oh, and be like, okay, that's fine, you do your thing. But really, what you wanted was a balance of both. Because that's really what it is, right? Being whole. And so
Yeah.
yeah, you portrayed this to the world. You wanted to be like this peace-loving person. You wanted to be everything harmonious, because it was like against your personal, like I would say, it kind of went against your core beliefs, which was you wanted just like okay, stability, just keep it grounded, just be here and now and like, be factual and just give it to me straight. Like, what is it? Give me something. You didn't. So, but then inside you, there's a sort of a strange dogmaticness about you when you were younger. You like had this strong belief that, oh, I know what I'm talking about. And you really resonated with those who also felt the same way. Um, let's see here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. There's that. Sorry, I'm losing my chart. Where am I going? Okay, here we go. So, oh, well, what else am I seeing here? Lots of Aquarian energy. There's a lot of the fire, but also like a lot of air. That's why I was seeing also the fire and air too. Okay, that makes sense. You a lot of fire and air in you as in terms of your spirit. You grow through both passion and knowledge come together. but it has to be knowledge that is beyond earthly knowledge. You have to be really out there. It has to be quirky, well, at least quirky, very weird and just extreme and just unusual, completely like aliens. Aliens was your thing. Like you resonated with anything, I don't know, anything sci-fi, anything scientific, weird alien shit, like what they say really. You sound like you're gonna say something.
No, I was just gonna say that's pretty pretty spot on.
Yeah. So thank you. Um, and you did come from a family that kind of, I would say, you question, I would say it was a, your family kind of, your family kind of brought, like, you come from a background where there was like power struggles, especially in past lives. And that kind of like, you had difficulties, growing through the family environment that you were in because they're so restrictive. You had to play this role of like, I am wise and I'm calm, but internally it's like, no, I am not calm, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, and so there's this like, this is sort of like feeling like as if I cannot grow, I can't expand. I don't feel very blessed. I don't feel fortunate, even though I do want to. And this also comes into what also comes into play here is your oh, that's why you have the diaphragm thing. Maybe. Okay, let me go back to that one. So the Jupiter here is showing me this is Jupiter right here. Right, you've seen this. Um, just Jupiter roll again. The stomach area, digestion. So when you felt kind of like you were not in your power, did you feel like, or there's power struggles, did you feel like you had nervousness about you? Like there was a in your digestion? Was it
yeah, yeah.
okay. Let me see what else I can get here. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to my other one second. You're probably gonna see something weird there for a second. Um, okay. I want to go at it also physiologically because it's part of the process. So Jupiter rules your liver, thighs, and hips, pancreas, pituitary, where tumors, especially. Were were people in your family like overweight,
I
or
have
was it an
yeah.
issue?
There's a couple people that are a little bigger.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not necessarily okay, but it did affect. Okay, I feel like it infect it. Oh, okay, liver. It affected your liver somehow. There's something about that, like because you have your Pluto in your first house, and that signifies like the your body. The first house is also your body. Um, so where did I go here? Okay. First house, it's you have Pluto there and Mars. Okay. So you have a very, very heavy, I would say. A lot of so your any all your bottom chakras right here, your sexual organs, your the digestive system, the intestines, anus region, that any sort of secretion, any sort of that kind of stuff, but also like blood. Um, that when you felt like you were nervous and your family didn't you couldn't grow in the family, like it feels like you couldn't be yourself, you couldn't shine, you couldn't be like really learn at like the higher levels, like really like out there. It's almost like they you felt constricted in that environment, and then so you I would say there are times probably you held it in.
Yeah,
Mhm. So and that shows me that just like there's just a control, there's a subconscious thing as well. So the fourth house rules subconscious, just as Pluto does, it's part of the subconscious. You could also probably get headaches to a certain degree.
I used to, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Um, but also like you would probably contract certain diseases that would kind of grow, that would kind of like they would, I don't know. It's something to do still connected to your nervous system and that area. But did you have digestive problems back then? Like it had you had to yeah, I don't know, just something about these. I'm not looking at the asteroids right now, so I can't pinpoint what those are. I'm not really sure. Sometimes the asteroids don't say that. I'm still learning as I go as well. So, but yeah. Um, yeah, something to do with the nervous system, the lower part of the body, the legs, the thighs, even the calves. So did did you have sometimes hard time walking?
Um, no,
Okay, that's fine. 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 Oh, okay. Um, did you oh, that's interesting. Maybe instead, okay, so instead of like obesity, it was the opposite. Was there, I feel like you met people who are bulimic or anorexic?
yeah, I've met people. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, somebody, I don't remember who it was at the moment, but yeah, somebody I knew did have like really bad problems with
Okay.
that.
Okay. It's showing me it's in your seventh house. So that means it's like it's a house of marriage. It's a house of contracts. Any contracts you get into, people that you probably meet are very also in general, um, did you I feel like you have trouble like letting go of certain relationships that are just like, right? Did you have that challenge a lot? Like it's almost like maybe because they were sorry, go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, I think more like kind of romantic ones,
Yeah,
and well,
romantic.
friendships too. Yeah, friendships too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So and that's where they kind of, I feel like it's tied also to let's see, were you not heard at like in the workplace, like your bosses, were you kind of disregarded?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So so you tend to attract rather, this is part of your soul journey, to attract soulmates that will challenge you at a deeper level, whether it's like they're going to, let's see here, vertex 9 degrees. Yeah, they're going to be challenging you at the core level. Like there's power struggles with you in relationships. Um, it actually kind of affects you here. Like your hearing, your smell kind of gets affected, this area. Your neck, maybe you get neck strains, maybe to, I don't know, it affects you at a physical level as well. Would you understand that?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, okay. Um, but be careful. Sometimes you don't know what to decide when it comes to relationships. Sometimes you get into it kind of like, especially when it's so like pleasing and it's very comfortable, but you don't know whether to decide and say, I don't know about this one. But sometimes you go for it. Sometimes you wait long time to decide. So it's either way, it's kind of extremes.
Yep.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay. Okay. Um, what else did I see here? You are you are actually you're actually bones, your skin and bones are quite I would say they're probably the most stable. They're very either you're protected there. I want to say protected because you have very grounded in this one. Like when you stand your ground when it comes to specifically like your knowledge, what you know and your experiences and when you just know it's
Mhm.
there. Takes a while for you to get to that core energy of life itself, though. It takes a while. It's Capricorn. This is Vesta. So that means that you're um, your Kundalini energy, it's more earth-based. So if you succeed in something, oftentimes that's when you feel like life is, oh, okay, I accomplished that. Oh, okay. You have this,
Yeah.
right? So I would say, let's see. Oh, okay. This ties into how you portray yourself to the world. It's kind of sometimes you're when you have to be fake to others, at least when you were younger, it blocked your energy. It blocked your energy completely. It's just like, oh, I can't do this. It's not, you know, you kind of lose. In fact, you lose so much energy that's almost like you don't. I don't know. Did you ever experience uh, like I wouldn't say weak in the knees. That's not it. It's something about your knees and your bones and your skin. It's something about that. That's Capricorn. Um, I feel like there's something about your relationship with people that either brought you down to your knee, not necessarily as a slave, but like you were weak in the knees, or you really just like no.
Yeah, it goes like kind of both ways. Actually,
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
yeah, that's right. Okay. You're also, by the way, I forgot to mention, you have Neptune here. You're quite idealistic. You identify with idealism and very much like a revolution. You're a rebel at heart. Like you resonate with that. You want to make changes, right? You want it to be at a communal level. You want to be able to share your philosophy with others. That really resonates with you. However, there's always a however. Um, you doubt your connection with people. Specifically when you share your philosophy, when you have a belief, people who are actually when like I would say people close to you, but also foreigners. Like it feels like you have a disconnect with things that are foreign, things that are um just like foreign to you. Not necessarily foreigners, but like it's maybe your neighboring foreigners, like neighboring, like especially if they don't believe what you believe and they're like very rigid in their beliefs, the old world beliefs. And it's almost like you have this hard time connecting with them. It's like there's what's going on
Yeah.
here?
Yep.
Yeah. So it actually brings you down. So your heart, your nervous system in your heart and your pineal gland gets blocked. It feels like, or at least it's delayed and you can't get those images. So I would say in this case, what I would say is sometimes you have to pick and choose. You have to adapt to who you actually connect with, be they neighbors, foreigners, foreign neighbors, non-foreign neighbors. Okay. Um, and always, yeah. And even though it might affect you at a general, like you might feel like you have to reset all the time, fine, do that. But don't try to escape too. Don't use meditation or, any kind of those kind of things to escape.
Right.
Be in the moment and really be in the meditative state, regardless. Right? That's true. That's really
Yeah.
what standing your ground is. It's not about I'm gonna fuck you and all that old stuff, all that ego stuff. That's gone. We're heading towards Dharma as humanity is heading towards Dharma, no longer karma. Okay, so karma is disappearing and we are responsible for our own choices, what we say, what we think, what we put into our minds, what we watch, those kind of things. So,
Hmm.
mhm. Because otherwise it's going to be like, oh, meditation is just an escape. It has to be in the moment. Hmm, what else was see here? This is a big one, actually, I find. Actually, before we go into that, let's see here. Where's, I saw Saturn here. Oh, here. Um, your knowledge is tied to your self-worth. When you don't have it grounded in the basis of your own specific beliefs, it's it becomes painful and it's kind of ongoing, but you can transform through it. Um, yeah, your one of your greatest wounds is your the deepest wound where it hurts a lot is knowledge. Is knowledge. Neighbors, your siblings is probably included here as well. Sibling figures, or sibling-like figures. Um, Natural skills, how you communicate, right? Probably people question you, because when you communicate, you have sometimes a hard time in expressing the fun that you have when you're just trying to be in the moment, expressing your emotions in a very like, oh, I love this fantasy stuff. Like I love the whole like if you're into fairies and unicorns and elves and orcs or ogres and all that stuff, all the fantasy world. It's almost like, especially those who are different from you. When I say foreign, I also mean different. There's like, oh, so you had to go through that because and it's ongoing. It's actually still ongoing. You're still experiencing that. Um, just hold on. Let me see what. Oh, sorry. What's one? Okay, again, it's your nervous system. Ah, do you get when that kind of stuff happens out of when you get really like you when you at least when you used to, maybe I'm not sure about that, maybe less now. Um, because when I see less now, that's just normal because we do evolve, right? Um, did you used to have a lot of issues like seeing? Do you feel like you couldn't see properly when
Yeah,
those things hit?
sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Your lungs. You couldn't, did you feel like, did you get panic attacks? Did you get kind of like when you were, when people didn't understand you? You could kind of, because
Um, sort of.
ah, when you'd feel like you're not supported, you don't feel nurtured in groups when it feels like something about, okay, Series in Virgo. It's almost like you didn't get thanked for the little things you did. And so it happens that triggers a lot of the emotions and the wounding from past lives as well. And that in turn also, like, yeah, with relationships, specifically when it comes to your um knowledge of things, you just have this knowing. It's like, and you don't know how to express it. And so what happens is that, yeah, you have this square here. I don't know if you could see it. I'm also doing this for my YouTube, by the way. Sorry, I can't see this right here. There's it right here. The
Oh,
moon
yeah. Yeah,
right
I see
there.
that one.
Hold on. Maybe I'm looking at this one right here. Sorry. Sorry. Adam, there's something there too. So, anyways, so it's not completely like hard to completely like really like, heavy, but it is kind of still heavy. But yeah, when it comes to social groups, specifically like social groups with that are also again foreign to you or with foreigners or in a business, okay, in a business setting, that also part of that. Religious groups, religious circles, those who are in charge, teachers as well is included here. Um, you couldn't express yourself and you couldn't be like your childlike self. Could also be like you get triggered sometimes by children. Not sure. It could be many things. Again, I'm not seeing the asteroids here, so I can't pinpoint which ones specifically. Well, as specific as I can get. But yeah, so definitely those kind of areas. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, so sometimes what you need to do often is that you be your own mother or father, and you learn to kind of go with the cycles and the ups and downs of life. That series. Sometimes you'll have droughts. Sometimes you'll be like flooded. Sometimes you'll just be like, oh, wonderful spring. Yay. That series. She represents cycles. She also represents portals. and the environment. So when I say environment, I mean how the environment changes you. So the environment here for you changes you at a molecular level. So because so it affects you at a molecular level, that means it also affects like your um what is that one? Your what is it, kidneys? I feel like it's tied to kidneys. If you had bladder problems, um, but it was little. I wouldn't say it's a huge thing, but some maybe maybe you didn't want to pee. Did you hold in your pee when it came to when you were nervous with people, like in the
Uh,
groups?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
As weird as
okay,
that sounds weird, but yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Oh, you have Maki retrograde opposite your moon. Okay, this is where it gets kind of it's like gets interesting. You have sometimes again with social groups, you have a hard time kind of expressing your weirdness and your unconditional love, and you have a very soft soul, like a very like very loving and gentle soul. But what happens is when you get all these random ideas, people be like, again, going back to the same thing. It's almost like you can't be part of social groups. It's almost like groups are like this, they just don't get the downloads that you get. You get downloads, but you doubt it. You actually
Yeah.
doubt your downloads. You get it. You're just like, I don't get it. So that's why you're here now to work on that. So let's see what says. Yeah, this is not the chart I'm looking for, or the cheat sheet. Where's my might take a while. Hmm.
It's really interesting
Okay.
because yeah, like I'm not really super comfortable with big groups of people.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, I'm going to take off markup because that might slow things down, actually. So let's see. One of your gifts is actually will help you with your career is being integral, like with yourself, with your heart, specifically your heart. What does your heart want? Because you doubt that sometimes. You're like, sometimes wonder, it's like, am I being honest in my career path? Am I following my vocation, where you came here to be, to do? But does it have to be about doing? You know, look at people
Mm.
like Eckhart Tolle. He talks about just being present. It solves literally 80% of your problems. Because humans, we have the ego. The ego creates problems, but the ego is not the problem. Okay. So I would say
Yeah.
like when you, hmm, sorry, God. Oh, okay. So, um, this is the part of fortune. Sounds like what it is. It's like fortune, but it's kind of like your gifts, your natural gifts and your talents in general. It's kind of weird. It's not a planet. It's a mathematical point. It's from Arabic astrology. They brought it in. I just brought it in here just in case. I'm trying to figure it out. It's like, how do I use this? Is so weird. Um, but anyways, this is going to be tied to your career. You know, your career has a lot to do with being like when I say career, I mean the jobs you've chosen as a career, tied a lot to homes, probably real estate, things with mothers. I don't know if you were a doula, a midwife, but or bodies of water, could be sailors, bodies of water, harbors, ships. Okay. It could also be hmm, what is cancer? What else is there? Yeah, anything with the
Uh,
sea. Hmm. Yeah.
so like right now I'm on the ocean raising fish, and then my other job in the summertime I do carpentry work.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Mind
it's
you
kind
that
of
it, mhm,
a little of both.
mhm. Mind you that is tied to your core beliefs. Your core beliefs, you want it to be physical, right? You want it to be hands-on. That was your kind of your role as the child in the family. But what happens is that sometimes our core beliefs take us further down and we want to just stick with that. But you've learned to work with the fact that sometimes security doesn't mean it has to be always physical. It could be emotional security. So it could be, this is tied also could be tied to family as well. So family could be tied to that. So not just could be any kind of family, right? If we looked at your moon rules your career and it's in Pisces. So your sense of security when it comes to careers and vocation is spiritual. What you're doing with this whole fishing stuff, that's only a bit part of it. Yeah. But what really will, uh, make that stronger. I don't know how to put it. It's like it will make it, girl, is to um focus more on your spiritual development, particularly working on your pain, your wounding. This is a big one. Wounding, working on your wounding, your transformation through those wounds, because that will bring you closer to, you never know what kind of family, right? Does it have to be blood related? No, it could be distant cousins. I don't know, whatever. Cousin once removed, twice removed, whatever. It doesn't matter. Family is family, right? You get to choose.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and then working with your inner strength, like just like being patient as well. When you are very quiet when you're communicating, I can tell that right away. I was like, either he has Mercury in Capricorn or it's Saturn there. He's very quiet. I was thinking, oh, okay, that's very interesting. But then I was like, oh, and then I saw this one. I was like, oh. So it's a difficulty in expressing your emotions, difficulty in expressing the love that you have actually. You have unconditional love to give to the world. You live in this Pisces energy. You love water. You so love the water. But you also love the fire. Well, kind of fire. Not really that fire, but like you love the cold actually. You like being in the cold. You enjoy that. Not that cold, but cold enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, do you want me to tell you about your marriage? This is kind of
Yes.
tricky. This is kind of tricky. Someone who is full of life, someone who lives in the present, someone who is welcoming and very much they know what they want. They know what makes them happy, what gives them bliss. They're kind of rebellious. They're kind of like, you know, um, there's a darkness to them. Um, Let me see what else I can get with core here. We can go further into detail with the asteroids too. Again, I want to go into that. Let's see what we have here.
Sweet.
Sorry, this happened before where I was like using my cheat sheet and it's gonna take time. Hold on. Okay,
No
let's see.
problem.
Hold on. Let me stop sharing the screen for a second here. Mm, you know what? I'm going to close that. Actually, oh, I'm going to close this one instead. So I'm going to close Facebook for a second. Yeah, he was trying to quit. This is what happens. Um, okay, let's do it. one chart at a time. I was opening too
Okay.
many charts at once. Okay, let's try this one. I actually have another friend who has the same moon sign as you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They are yeah, Pisces. But their moon, their sun is Cancer. What that means is also that means that they're also very Piscean as well. Very dreamy, like to be in, you know, there's an escapism about it. Um, However, your moon sign is in the fifth house, so that means it's in Leo. So you like to shine with your emotions. You like to actually show the world, this is my inner core being. This is how I feel. I'm like you wear your heart on your sleeve. Yeah. Okay. Um, oh, the black hole thing opened. I'm gonna close that one. Okay, let's see. Oh, oh no, I just want the other ones. Okay, hold on. Let me close the other ones. Okay, so we just want one chart at a time. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I want to fix start chart. We'll close that one. Okay, cool. So what was I saying? Oh, your marriage. Okay. Like we're talking like long-term partner. Not necessarily always marriage, but yeah, same thing.
Right.
Doing it again. Hmm. Let's see. So okay, I'm gonna go into we'll close that one. 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 Okay. Let's see. Probably gonna take a while. So what I'm gonna say generally is that core is I don't know, they could be also like a drummer. They might like drums and beats. They might like um they like ceremonies. They like dancing as well. They're into music. They're also good at like research. They're very technical. They're tech savvy, right? Um yeah. Um I'm just trying to figure out what area of your life. They could be related to business, could be related to financial stuff, could be like maybe they work at a bank. Maybe they are in the drumming business. Maybe they are in percussion. They play piano as well. That's percussion. Maybe they are ceremonial. They have a shamanistic sort of business, shaman-based business. It could be they're yeah. Oh, here we go. It opened up. Um, let's see here. They could be they could be sort of religious, but not necessarily. Could be a prophet as well, some sort of prophetic abilities. Okay. Um, they probably could be working in law as well. Something to do with ethics, maybe something to do with ethics. Um, they could also be working in something to do with uh, poison, like toxicologist, could be a toxicologist. Okay. They could be working with the police. Let's see here. They could be working with orphans as well. Um, they love languages. They're into languages or foreigners. Could be someone who's also maybe foreigners, not necessarily foreigner. Doesn't matter. Um, Something to do with multiculturalism. So they also probably are into that. They welcome. Maybe they adopt. Maybe oh, maybe they've already adopted a baby, or maybe you guys will adopt a baby. Okay. I didn't mention this, but but astrology is a language of probability, just like quantum physics says it is. You know how there's different probabilities with every choice you make in every second. That's astrology. Okay.
Nice.
Um, mhm. This is good why we recorded it. Okay. So, um, they could also love history. They could also be into history. They could also be, let's see here. Oh, they could also be in water, just related to water, like a sailor of some kind. So never know. They
Nice.
could be living in mountains. They could be in like, where snakes live, bears are, right? Um, they could also be into like sacred things, like again, shamanism, stuff like that. I would say they're kind of not. Maybe there's a part of them that's like non-binary. They don't identify with one gender. Or that they're just like neutral. They just say, I am what I am. Or they don't like labels. That's the other part. Um, they're quite young. Now, if you, I'm not going to say they're adolescent, but they might have a young child as adolescent. Um,
That sounds better.
well,
But
sorry. I mean, for me, that's okay. But for you, it's just like, what? Um, they could also be into things like pot or, medical marijuana or
hmm
ayahuasca. Again, they could be into singing, dancing. Um, they could play in the orchestra. They could be a musician in that regard as well. Okay. They're very creative as well. Okay. Uh, they go from their heart. They work with their heart. They trust their heart. They could also be working in a sort of a collective environment, like um like a homestead, maybe. I don't know, some sort of community. Architecture, they could also be architect. They could be the scientist, like who's like an evolutionary scientist, a physicist. They could also be a mystic. Um, mm, you probably will have, let me see here. What is that? 20, is that 20 degrees? I'm not seeing the other asteroids. Something about orgasm. I don't know. There's something there. So just letting you know. Okay. Again, they could be into art, science, psychology, neuroscience. They could also be into spirit work like this. So, but they might also believe in ghosts or the other realm, the other behind the veil. Okay. They could also be into politics. Not sure with that one. Or they not maybe not out into politics, but you meet them through politics. Again, there's so many possibilities and probabilities. Okay. Um, yeah, and it could be quite strong. There's a lot of pull. There's a lot of pull to this marriage, to this partner, whoever it is. Um, again, they're quite rebellious. They're quite like different. They believe in the natural happiness, which is like, like you have the corruption of the system. They say, oh, this is what you did wrong, but then there's corruption behind it. So they're aware of that. They're aware of their own instinct as well.
nice.
Um, um, what else is there? They could be a weather person, like a meteorologist, or into weather or weather patterns, or you know, um, again, there could be also good at research, right? They're very, very resourceful. Okay. They know how to survive. They're very strong. They're very self-sufficient, like resilient, tenacious. Okay. Um, what else did I see here? So I'm because I'm I the Ixion is not loading my cheat sheet on. From what I remember, what else is there? They could have also experienced childhood betrayal, like a trauma, like through the betrayal, where they um there's uh there's some sort of like what is that one called? Something to do with hospitality. Something with they may have gone through something violent in their life, like a violation, specifically like sexual violations, sexual abuse. Okay. Um, what else is there? Um, or someone died in their life. Okay. Again, they could be working with the police because it's something about murders, homicides. Again, trying to cleanse, trying to remove corruption, control, and power. Um, again, weather's coming up here again. So atmosphere, they might be into that stuff. There could be quite high libido, a lot of that. Okay. Again, that kind of ties in with the core. There's the orgasm thing, so you never know. Um, they might be into like things that help you feel relaxed and happy. The GABA, it's called the GABA response, benzodiazepines, Valium. Oh, so they probably have gone through like drug addiction.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. Yeah, I feel like it's like that. Okay. Or they could be into things like serotonin, like, supplements. Or they like working out. They get the endorphins from working out. And they could be also an equestrian. They like horses. They like the wilderness, the wild. They like being out in nature. Okay. They probably also have been to Hawaii. Something about Hawaii here. Or the Ring of Fire, Pacific
Hmm.
Ring of Fire. Those places, Japan. So it could be anywhere there. So California, Alaska. You're talking like all the way down to South America, the Easter Islands, um, even the islands in those places, like where my part of my distant relatives are, the Islanders, the Pacific Islanders, people, Polynesians, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Taiwan, China. That's the Ring of Fire. I believe that's the Ring of Fire. Hawaii is part of that for sure. So there's a
Nice.
connection there. Okay. So any questions? Are you doing well?
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
It
So
just
let's go
sounds
into
like,
sorry, sounds like what?
go ahead.
No, sounds like what?
A couple people that I know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's someone. Um, so there's just there are details here of your past life that will help you in this life. It's showing me that you were like a hero in a past life. You played the hero. You like to save. You kind of do that too today a little bit. There's a savior thing about you, right? Um, you have very strong beliefs about one thing or the other. Um, I'm not saying that you're heteronormative or heterocentric, but might tie into that in a past life. Maybe you were learning from past lives that or someone in your life back then was very much like, this is only this. There's only male, female, and there's only that, right? I'm saying that personally for me because it's like it's important that we have to just like things are as they are, right?
Hmm.
Um, you could have been like such a hero that maybe you had to be like what do you call that? The knight in shining armor. So showing me here Aphrodite. Okay, Aphrodite, kind of resentment in a past life. Uh, being in Scorpio, you might have been also maybe the damsel in distress. Shows your your softness about you. So you could have been also a female in one of your past lives. That's not unheard of. Um, because it's in Scorpio. It's just that's it's called the negative, meaning internal, feminine energy. So that might explain that. So um what do you call this? So a lot of the stuff that you're experiencing in this life regarding your past life stuff is like sometimes you have to prove yourself. Actually, you have to prove yourself quite often. So a lot of it is tied to self-worth. A lot of it's tied to like money making, having to say like, oh, I can be free. Like this is how I do it, but I do it in a very unique way. You actually have good research. This is why there's that Juno thing earlier I showed you with the marriage thing. You have good research skills. You're very resourceful. You're tenacious. You carry that energy from the past. You know how to hold yourself. You know how to hold your own. Um, Very mysterious for sure. But also on the darker side of things, the shadow of it. I don't know if you're familiar with shadow work. I highly recommend every human, especially now, do their shadow work. Um, what do you call this? You probably were quite vengeful in past lives. So you probably carry there might be that tendency to be like retaliate, revenge, vengeance. Very dark. It's Scorpio, right? They're
Uh-huh.
risk taking as well. You have a dark side to the point where it's just like you if it's not dealt with at a deeper level, meaning going to your shadow, it goes into power control, like tyrannical. Megalomania, the triad, all that stuff, psychopathy, sociopathy, megalomania, you name it, all of that stuff. It's dark triad. It's called the dark triad. There you go. Scorpio could get into that. So the choice is, were you trying to, before you came into this life, were you trying to learn from that? Are you going to remain as a scorpion, or are you going to rise above that and be the eagle? This is the symbolism of Scorpio. It's the eagle as well. So it's kind of just like being okay with solitude, being okay with powerlessness, and say, I know my power because my power is connected, right? It's not like I'm trying to control everything, right? That's a very dark Scorpio. That's that energy of like, I'm going to sting you and I'm going to sting you and rip you apart and I'm going to sting you again. Maybe I'll heal you and then do it again. It's very vindictive, it's malicious, it's very dark, it's so dark. It's very, but that's what happens with darkness, right? You need to
Yeah.
transform. Yeah. So that's possible because you also have Pluto here conjunct your south node. So I'm just like, wow, you've had a lot to deal with power. Like power was a big thing. Wow, abuse, power. Like you're talking like trauma, like shadow shit, like just like heavy, right? Because I'm familiar. I have that in my placement. I have Sun conjunct Pluto, and there are other placements too in my chart. It shows. Oh. I know what darkness is. I can tell you, like, I'm not surprised by the things that I see on the internet, people shit that they've done. It's like, yeah, I'm not surprised because they're just
Hmm.
experiencing it. And I'm just like, yeah, I can understand. Like, I understand people like Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin. Why would they do that? I have compassion for them. What they did was that's not right, but compassion because I know what that feels like. Anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just kind of agreeing with you.
Hmm. Well, thank you. Um, so yeah, so you carry that really strong Scorpio energy, and it's kind of had blocks with your like your family environment. Like we had some Jupiter here, right? But at the same time, um, what do you call this? Let's see here. It's conjunct, your Jupiter's conjunct. This is gonna sound funny, okay? Clitia. Her name is Clitia. Okay, sounds like clitoris, I know. But Clitia is about worship and praise and putting things on a pedestal. Um, she's connected to the flower heliotrope, which is the flower that always looks to the sun and dependent on sunlight. Um, so Clitia has that energy of like I need to look up to someone. So you've had to kind of had to question yourself with your family. Like, how do I look up to a corrupt environment? How do I look up to this? Like, what's the fuck is going on here? So you had trouble. But you knew there was something in you that knew just like, this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. So you had to, you went through that, right? Sorry, it's doing that thing again. I can't move it. So, it'll take a while. Just 1 second. So let's see. See, close that for a while and see what happens with this one. Yeah, it was trying to quit. That's why. Okay, let's open that again. Oops. Okay.
Oh, you said you started like getting like noticing all your gifts after you stopped eating so much meat, huh?
Not, I didn't completely stop. I actually gradually, I weaned myself off of it. It was, first it was like I just cut off, like I had to cut off beef altogether. Red meat, to be honest, they told me like spinach and cabbage, but I was still okay spinach with spinach later. Cabbage, definite. I will not eat cabbage at all. Maybe Napa cabbage is okay, but I'm careful about cabbage. So those are the things. And no like innards, no like internal organs sort of meat. Definitely not. That was the first one absolutely to go. And then red meat and then pork. So this was in like a span of like a year or so. And it was just like gradual. In fact,
Okay,
the meat stuff, except for fish and eggs, that's like one I cut off. Sometimes I would have chicken a little bit, maybe rare occasion like pork, but then I started to realize as I got older. I mean, when I say year, sorry, that's not what I meant. I should have said like a few years. I was thinking about the year, meaning like when I officially starting cutting off any animal-based protein. That doesn't include honey, like or cheese or any of that stuff, like the protein itself.
gotcha.
This was like what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I think so. And then that's when I took it seriously. I realized there was a huge change in because I wasn't getting gout anymore. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm not getting gout. But then I continued on doing it. Then I realized there's just this thing as vegan. I didn't even plan to be vegan. I was just like, I'm just gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna, you know. And then I realized, oh, I'm actually doing something. Oh, okay. I feel like I'm contributing. Yay. I'm gonna continue this. And I went further and I just cut off dairy. So there is vegan dairy, of course. And then I cut off honey. That was the last one I cut off in terms of like direct animal-based products.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, um, what's this? Oh, okay. So going back to the whole, I'm going to close that other chart. Open. See if there's any other. Oh, sorry. Why is your Zoom working? Oh, that's why. Another one. Um, okay, let's go back. So I was saying here earlier, I see here Cletio. Was there? Okay, it's gonna be weird. Is there so in the family, was there also is tied to Uranus, sorry, it's tied to Aquarius. Um, was there any forms of like in the family, in the history of the family, like excuse me, neuroticism, schizophrenia, paranoia, or
Um,
Mhm.
what do you mean, like eroticism? Like
Uh,
what? What would
Like
that be?
neurotic, when you're neurotic. Was anyone like that? Or really, really strongly in love? It's called erotomania. Anyone
Um,
with bipolar disorder?
they said that like that one was in there somewhere.
Okay,
Bipolar
that's fine.
was.
Yeah, because the fourth house is tied to your past lives, like your family's past life, your ancestry. Okay. Oh, so your family was, did you also come from a religious background? Or at least
Yeah,
someone you,
some of them are. Yeah,
yeah, okay. Hmm, some of them are also very patriotic. They're patriotic Americans.
yeah.
Okay. Loyalists. I don't know if some of them belong to the loyalists. Okay.
That one I don't know.
Hmm, that's okay. Um, or or did your family like sunflowers? Was there something about violets, flowers?
um, I don't know. I had grandparents that had a farm.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Um, you were probably very impressionable as a child, weren't you?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. That's what I said here. So you were like head over heels for someone, for people, or for, potential lovers.
yeah,
You probably got jealous quite a lot when you were younger.
yeah.
hmm Okay. Divorce, was it kind of was it common in your family?
Yep, yep.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just going through it. I know sometimes it's kind of dark, but I mean sorry, that's part of the reason.
It's all right. It's there.
Okay, I know that you could take because I saw your South Note and I was like, oh yeah, he can take it. Um, heart palpitations. You used to get that, or someone in the
Um,
family did.
like heart problems.
Yeah, it's more like palpitations.
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's okay. Nope, that's okay. Let's see here. Okay, what else do I see? Lamb city. Um, okay, so I'm gonna close that one, and then I'm gonna open up another one. Okay. Oh, it opened up in the other file. Oh, goodness sakes. Okay, one second. Why did that happen? This is what happens. Can we open that separately? Doo, doo, doo. Okay, it's still opening up in the same location. Why are you doing that? Close that, and then I'm going to open that one separately. And then I'm going to open my sheet. If I printed out my cheat sheet, I would have an entire encyclopedia, 600 pages long
That's
of
what. Yeah,
inside.
I was hearing the last one that the circle that I was in that you were in. You were actually um you were reading somebody else's chart in that one. I don't remember who it was.
Is it Libby?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Then
Yeah,
I
I was
had to
going,
go because I had to go back and feed some fish. And when I came back, you guys were done already.
that's okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether I should like, never mind. I'll tell you later. It's okay. It's because we're being recorded right now. That's fine. Okay. Um, ah, you put a lot of it, you invest a lot in your basic needs, like I guess your hobbies. Um, does that resonate? Would you understand that? Your banks. Banks means that you're investing. It's uh it's something that you are constantly working on or investing
Um,
in, like your spirituality at least, or at least some. I think this is tied more to your career, like your fishing stuff.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you invest? Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Okay, we're gonna go back to the. Oh, okay, this explains it. Yeah, you're very loving, but you're misunderstood. Um, in past lives, you were like you could have been also like a matchmaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm seeing here matchmaker, but it's I haven't finished the research on Cupid or Cupido, really. That's the Latin form of it. But there is this Norse god called Njord, and is it gonna do the same thing again? Hold on, let's see. Njord was like a misunderstood, very benevolent, very giving god. He was what was he? Something about like it's still tied to the lover thing. One second. Oh, I should simplify the search thing. Because that's the thing I like about using PDF when I'm using PDF. It's I could just do a quick search like Command F. On a Mac or Control F, and then it'll just go to the what I'm looking for instead of
Nice.
like scrolling through the whole thing. It's 600 pages. Why would I do that?
Right, yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, nice. Okay. Not showing up. Uh, let's see what it says in the north. The north node. North node. Okay. So Midas, you have there something about being satisfied. So your north node is in 6 degrees. It's in Taurus. So it's all about embracing the earthiness of things, the natural things, like it's nature, really. Um, Balancing that from the past and what you have now. So this isn't really about money. This is about your exploration of things in life. It is tied to self-worth, particularly like with how you present yourself in terms to others. Could be a partner, could be someone, could be family, anybody. And how you present yourself as like this person who has ability to find their own way through their own resourcefulness and being free from like free as in what is freedom, right? Like, right? But going with the simpler things of life, but at the same time
Hmm.
saying, okay, well, I already have enough. I have all the riches that I have. I'm very resourceful. So it's like honing the gifts that you have from the past and being connected to and being really just finding satisfaction in that, like gratitude. Particularly, yes, with the simple things in life, the simple joys of life, like a piece of pie, freshly sharpened pencils. I don't know, smell of coffee in the morning. I don't drink coffee, but so those little things, smelling the roses, that is where you're going towards. Midas is here though to show that it's like you don't need to make everything into gold. Okay, right. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be idealistic. But there's something else about Midas. I want to go deep into um it's still not showing me. So, let's go into Midas. It's funny, I remember when I only had 50 pages of this cheat sheet. Um, it was so much faster, of course, but now it's like 30 times bigger. It's still growing though. I think
Yeah.
maybe I should really stop because it's definitely slowing down. Um, okay. Yep. Okay. So this has only been recently. This has only been happening recently. So maybe I should, one second. I think I know what to do. One second here. I really appreciate your patience, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, so the file opened up. Okay. Okay, so let's see if I can find Midas again. Come on. Hmm. So I tried to close it. Oh my goodness. I think I know why it's slowing down too, because sometimes when when you're on, when it's trying to load, like when you're trying to, what do you call that? To iCloud. I think I'm going to take that out.
Yeah,
But then every time I do that, it's like, it deletes the notes that I have. And I'm just like, well, I needed those notes. So,
right. Yeah,
hmm. It's an old computer too. It's 2013. So,
I understand that. That's how mine is too.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, mine's pretty old.
Okay. Um, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, mm, in this case, I'm just going to read what's on the chart. And if I keep sharing the screen, I feel like it's going to just slow it down. Is that okay? I'm pretty sure it's okay
Yeah,
with you, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. Unless it doesn't change that way. It looks like it's kind of making a difference. Nothing else that's open. Just this one. Okay, so that's that. That's what I'm seeing here. Because I wanted to go into detail, but I feel like I don't know what it is. Uranus is big this year, and technology is going to be crazy. But it's also in my chart. Like I'm looking at it, and there's like it's a long story. Never mind. Let's see. Okay. Let me open up the other files. Okay. Uh, yeah. So definitely like working hard is part of your path as well. Like you're forging something. I don't know if you're into like inventing things now. Like, are you into that right now? Have you been doing that?
Um, not not really,
Okay, that's fine.
unless unless you count like building a house and stuff like that.
That's fine. It's still like that is part of the Taurus energy. It's like it still houses. Um, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. And like something about forging, like with fire. So I have here Hephaestus. Forging relationships because it's in the seventh house. So forging relationships with people, um, particularly people who are very, again, simple. Maybe in just in something about fire here, something about building, yeah, creating something. But it's part of the seventh house. So I feel like yeah, it's still. like maybe getting into contracts with people who are more connected to nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
hmm So like wildlife as well as part of that. Oh, there's another thing I noticed about your past life. You have good memory, or at least you remember things really well. Do you remember your past lives?
No, actually, I can't really remember like much before I was even um, like I'd say probably five, 5 or 6.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I noticed this earlier. You have you question your what is this, coronus? No, you because of your the little things like the what do you call this the not taken for granted, like I guess you could say taken for granted gifts, like this the abilities that you feel like you never had, the unforeseen gifts you never had. It runs in your family, right? It goes through your family. You actually have here, actually I see here metis. I'm trying to remember metis. Come on. Metis is something about advising, something about not by page order, search rank. It's doing it again. I feel like I don't know what to do with this one. Okay, so Metis, I believe, is something to do with being an advisor, counselor to something. It's very connected to, I'm going to cheat with the internet because this file is not showing up. It's kind of annoying me right now. Okay, I'm going to go to the internet. I'm going to cheat with the pathology. And that's how I got it. Okay. Ah, okay. So things to do with if rivers part of this one. Something about like foreign things, like foreign, like what do you call this? Kind of like a release. You're here to learn about releasing things, like things that you have had before, and you're here to release it.
Okay.
Specifically with relationships, the relationships that have kind of like, like kind of stolen your heart, but then now you have to get. It's like I think you're learning to cut cords. Have you ever done cord cutting?
I'm learning how to work on that.
Okay, cool. But also something about armor. So wearing your armor, having like a boundary, that's tied into Taurus as well. Taurus is about boundaries. Um, so let's see. Yeah, having and really like yeah, being kind of standing your ground. And again, tying back to Hephaestus as well, right? It says forging your own relationships the way make it makes sense to you. Um, yeah. Let's see here. So watch out for what is this one I'm seeing here? Something about small things. Yeah. So going back to the simplicity of things, going back to like small, it's related to the small things as well. So, metamorphosis or rather shape shifting, which is funny because we talked about it earlier about your fixed stars, right? Something
Hmm.
about shape shifting. So there's something about you that is learning about shape shifting. There's something about that. Okay. Um, what else did I see here? You have your node. Okay, this goes back to the one I said earlier. You have Sedna retrograde here in Taurus. So Sedna is about forgiveness, like really release forgiveness. But again, we talked about that. I said that it's like hard, you had a difficult time, at least when you were younger, kind of letting go of relationships, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm. So, um, there's something about Feronia as well. Yeah. So something about also kind of like maybe maybe you need to sometimes wipe the slate clean. So yeah, but it still has to do something with fire, something about forging. I keep saying that, but I feel like it's important. But what's it called? Forest fires. It's tied to this as well.
Huh.
Yeah, it's ring a bell.
Um, no, I'm trying to piece things together how it would. Um,
Okay. All right. Let's see here, and then we have Thea. Um, in the past, I would say you had. Okay, so you do have the sight and vision. It's part of your past life, right? You do have it. It's just time to kind of open it. And I think it's tied to relationships that you've had that were, um, let's say, betrayals, any form of betrayal, especially if it's like a father figure, someone who
okay.
has betrayed you, someone who has kind of like cut ties. Okay. Um, like when you felt like drowning. There's something about drowning. It's tied to that. Okay. So not drowning, literal drowning, but it could be. But drowning from that whole like, I can't believe you did that. Or
Right.
the lure of someone taking you away from your sense of security, but then also betraying you in a way that's like, oh, I'm just not gonna take whatever, right?
Yeah.
That kind of betrayal, that's like abandonment. Okay. Yeah. So the trick here is you're learning how to figure out how to trust the inner nature within yourself, transformation, metamorphosis. Okay. And really, like on the physical level too, right? Specifically with relationships, anything you get yourself into, like an agreement you have with someone, agreement with others, people you notice are like, there's something about you that's off. Before you even say no to that, before you even say yes or no to that, rather, you use your sense of like your discernment, but also like your instinct. You have strong instincts, right?
Okay.
So, yeah. What else? Did you have um did you have concern about hygiene with relationships sometimes?
um, no, not really. I don't,
Or
not
like
that I
how when I
remember.
say we're not well, maybe not necessarily hygiene, but like how clean they are, like pure, how their intentions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at I'm digressing with that one. That's okay. I want to keep focusing on your path. So here, yeah, so Sedna here is a lot of metamorphosis that you have to go through. That also means that you're probably working with, have you ever worked in harbors or like anything to do with whales, blubber, fat?
Um, no, not really
Oh,
whales or
interesting.
anything.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
Surprising because you live in Alaska. So,
yeah.
mhm. Um, Oh, one of the things about your past life is that you do have connection to Mother Earth, right? You have, um, you're very much, yeah. So it's good to bring that forward. You have a green thumb. Do you say people say you have a green thumb?
I could, yeah, I could.
You could, okay, you're not sure. But it is connected to that. Gaia, you have Gaia here in the past life. Um, and kind of unrecognized as well. You're very much you are strongly connected to Earth magic. So I don't know if you've ever had any messages or dream in your dreams about like fairies, like the elementals. Have you ever heard of the elementals?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, in my dreams, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like when I was talking about those black spots, like those, I see those a lot more when I'm like walking in the woods because I'm surrounded. But well, you're like Canada is a lot like here. It's all forest trees and stuff. Well, I don't know, maybe not where you're at, but
No, not in Edmonton. Not that much, no, because it is a city. Yeah. But once you get out of the city further west, when you go west, closer to the Rockies, then yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, something about Gaia. Let's go back to Gaia here. I want to see what other gifts you have from the past. Let's see here. You very would you say you have a sort of very mother-like persona? Have people said like you're kind of like a mother, like that very
um,
warm, nurturing thing
yeah.
about you? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, because it's in the first house, it's tied to the second house. Double check here. Is it? Oh, not really. So did you ever did you were you used to taking oaths? Like you really like committing to things?
Yeah, if I commit to something, I make sure I do it. Like,
Okay,
but like I've never not like gone to like military or anything like that and committed
okay,
anything like
okay.
that.
Let's see here. Surprised you didn't get into nursing. Not sure if you would have gone to that, but let's see here. You worked a lot, but you did work a lot in farms, right? When you were
Um,
younger?
we were around it, yeah, quite a bit.
Okay. Oh, did you work in caves or underground locations?
No, but I really like going into them.
I can tell, yeah, because it's part of your body. You embody that desire. You want to be closer to Mother Earth. So, so actually, you would be connected to stones as well. Do you use gemstones? Because I do.
I don't, but I'm always picking them up.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you were the kid that picked up pebbles in the beach kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. She's gonna put this back in. Let's see here. So yeah, so that's the strong one for you. That's working underneath the Earth. It ties in with the Pluto placement. He's also underneath. He's also subterranean. So that's interesting. Since you love the water, you're very close to the water. Have you ever tried like scuba diving, like underneath like underwater reservoirs? Does that
I
interest you?
haven't, not yet, but yeah, it
Okay.
does interest me.
Okay, because the like fresh water, like yeah. Okay, cool. Um, Harmonia is here. I'm just looking at it, and Harmonia is like just this asteroid represents like it's harmony, yes, but it's more like sometimes at the cost of truth. Sometimes Harmonia will be like, will insist on balance. Let's see here. Come on. Oh no, that's even worse. Oh, goodness sakes. Every time this happens. Okay. Anyways, I'm not even sharing the screen and it's happening already. Okay, let's see. Um, let's open that file. Let's just go crazy. I don't care. They want to go crazy. You technology wants to go crazy. I can go crazy. Wonder what's causing the delay. I mean, yes, we're on Zoom, but that shouldn't cause a delay. I've had Zoom sessions before where it's just okay. Maybe I'll just do this like raw without the sources. Okay, I'm just gonna try it raw, see what I get. There's another chart here. Screw you. I'm not gonna use you right now. Close, close. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. What else does it say about? Oh, you have Lamea in your past life. Were you aborted? Do you know if you were just do you feel like you were aborted in a past life? Like you died as a baby because you were aborted. That's
I
Lamea.
I don't know. I never really thought about that.
It's very dark stuff. Um, there's something about that. I feel like it's in the first house. Something was aborted. Something was stolen. Like something about you in the past. Like if you're female in the past life, you lost a baby, right? So that's part of the trauma to carry forth. There's a lot of chaos too. Like again, trying to prove yourself, trying to create a lot of chaos and disharmony in some of your other past lives. Um, oh, risk taking too. Uh, or you probably also, let's see here. Probably like, I don't know what it is. Maybe you were maybe you were one of those like, in Japanese War, in the World War II, there was like sometimes they would commit suicide by
Oh, yeah, the
plane.
kamikazes.
Yes, that's correct. So I feel like there's something about that because it's like something to do with the water. I don't know. I
Maybe
can't
that's
tell
why
right
I
now.
like. Maybe that's why I'm afraid of drowning.
Okay. It's funny because I said drowning earlier, right? And you're like, I saw you. I said you're like kind of not clinch. What did you say? No, you didn't flinch a little bit. You kind of did a little bit. I sensed it. And I was like, okay, yeah. That's why you haven't done the whole like underwater scuba diving thing, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see here.
Which is weird though, because like I do like the water. I like to swim and everything, and I like being around it. But for some reason, like I'm afraid that I'm gonna drown.
Yeah, I can understand. Yes, it probably is tied to the past life too. So something about because it's okay. Yeah, there's the drowning. That could be part of that. Because Icarus, we have Icarus here in your fourth house. It's square your south node, but south it's square Ate and it's square Lamea. So it shows to me that it's something about you were rising and you were falling. So you fell into the depths of the sea or something like that. That's why I heard about the kamikaze stuff. And I was like, oh, but sure, like that. And I'm just, yeah. Um, Cerberus too. Oh, you have Cerberus. It's square Cerberus. And Nemesis. Nemesis is just your enemies. That's the straightforward one. But Cerberus is like being on guard. It could be that you're poisoned in a past life as a baby, because Cerberus is wills poisons and toxins as well. Or you were shut out. Something about being shut out. You were abandoned. You were given away to adopt as a baby for adoption. Unless that's current.
No, no, not
No.
current.
Okay. Okay. There's something about that. Or you gave a child away and you feel like it's some no, I feel like that's not it. You were given away. I feel like it's something about abandonment, right? That's why probably that whole like sometimes like forgiving people or distrust is there, and that's okay.
Hmm.
This life now, so opposite of that, you have faith on retrograde. So this is the energy of risk taking, just like Icarus, but this is about more like burning and kind of like having a disconnection with the father, okay, and not knowing your lineage, you know. But here, retrograde shows that it could still be a reminder, but it could also be that you're asked to say, if you're gonna take risks, do it little by little. Take little by little risks, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else do we have here? We're almost done. Sorry. Um, oh, okay. Then you have to go. Oh, you're being asked to go into your primordial self, like really to the core, deep, and really connect with Earth. You have here chaos. Chaos is primordial, the dark energy, so to speak. Like it's you know you've heard of like the vacuum, the what do you call it, the quantum vacuum where everything exists. That's this is what represents it's chaos. So
Okay.
for the sake of my channel, this is not for the viewers who are gonna watch this. This is chaos is not an asteroid. It's a dwarf planet. It's way out there. Anyways, just for them. Okay. Um, and also you have Thor here. Oh, you have Thor. Okay. So kind of shining, but at the same time working through like any of the aggressions that might be there, might be hidden aggressions, like kind of like being popular. It's kind of going back to the whole popularity thing, right? And kind of being open to being kind of like liked for just who you are, rather than I just want to be popular for the sake of being popular. Screw that.
Right. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So in this case, you don't want to go into things that are, especially with the earth, working with the with plants, soil, farming, going to your primordials. I would actually go into, have you heard of permaculture?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love permaculture. It's so natural. It's just no waste. I would love like a cabin-like house by the lake or the river is better because it's flowing, it's moving. And that's just like I'm thinking of like that fairy tale, like like that forest in the forest kind of house, but that with the permaculture like farm, like a just self-sufficient, maybe solar panel roof or something like that, rain collector, that simple. Yeah, that's for me. I'm just like, oh, love that.
That's awesome. That's what like I'm trying to do that. I have like I'm on power grid and everything, but I'm trying to do that kind of homestead. Like got
Nice.
property and building a cabin and it's in the mountains in the woods, and gonna do a greenhouse next year. Well, this year actually
Oh
after
my
I get out of
God.
here.
I'm gonna have to definitely save money. It's like all of you people like who I connect with, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do something. I don't have a license. I don't believe in the system. I'm so rebellious against the system. I don't like it. I don't want to get a freaking like car like this and you pay for the insurance. Like what the fuck is that?
Hmm.
Like have you heard of the there's this I don't know if it's common in Sweden, but they there's a Swedish guy who invented there was some in Canada where they're showing what do you call this? Four-wheel we call those bikes, but they're the bikes, but it's like it's electricity and it looks like a car and they shape it like a car. Have you seen those? Okay.
No, that sounds pretty cool though.
I might have to pass that on to you. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I'll put a reminder for myself. If you want me to share it with you. I saw a
Yeah,
website for it here. Okay.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Um, website. Brandon. Okay, okay. Awesome. Um, so yeah, so going back to that really like core, really natural, way of doing things. And then we have a last chart here. Oh, I don't even know how to read that one. Oh, darn it. Algira. Let's see what the website. I'm the internet thing. Do you do this sometimes too when you feel like you're limited by stuff? You become naturally resourceful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I love being resourceful. Not just I love it. It's kind of just like, stop whining about what you can't control. Just go ahead. Look, what do you have, right? So love that.
Make it work.
Make it work. Make it work. Exactly. Okay. So, something about dreams. I feel like this is tied to when you said you couldn't see your past lives or you couldn't. Do you do dream work?
Um, Meaning, I'm,
Like dream analysis, like you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, I can actually, what is that called? When you can control what happens in your dreams?
Lucid dreaming?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that quite a bit, actually.
Oh, do I'll send you some gemstones that can help facilitate with that. There's a
Nice.
list I came up. So another thing I'm gonna send you. Okay. Um, plus list of lucid dreaming gemstones. Okay.
Yeah, dreams actually are really kind of like big with me. I pay attention to them a lot.
Let's
That's
see what we have.
usually my first topic when I get to work.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see here. Your Venus retrograde. Okay. That's interesting because Mercury rules your 12th house, and that's where it's part of it's in Sagittarius. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. You kind of get drawn to it, like it's part of like it's almost like it's kind of not really instinctive, but kind of almost like it's subconscious, like because you want to get into the subconscious. It's almost like that makes sense. And you
Hmm.
have this you look at the little details of it. Is it quite are they vivid? Are they quite
Yeah.
detailed?
Yeah. Most of the time they are.
Okay. Okay. That's wonderful.
People, like, I don't know if this matters or anything, but
So,
people in my dreams, like, usually a lot of them will change. Like, it's supposed to be the same, like, character, if you say, but like their faces, they change into like other people, but
oh,
they're the same.
do you dream about snakes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. You have Medusa here. So you might dream about also like serpents, snakes, maybe dragons. I'm not sure. Those have
Dragons,
come
yeah.
through. Also, probably something about abandonment or betrayal. That's the part of the subconscious in your dreams as well. Um,
That
yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
it's also tied to the others thing I was talking about. Yeah, it's wounding as well as part of that as well. So you have dreams about those. Like you're trying to probably like showcase your knowledge, but then it's like the people you get either you get what is this one? I'm wondering if I'm wondering where Cassandra is in your chart. I'm trying to see. One second. And then after this, I'm done. Um, I would like to go into the other, like the place asteroids, which shows me like where you've been in a past life, but that's maybe not that important right now. Maybe another time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I knew Cassandra was close here. Okay, yeah, people do not believe you're. Oh my God, they don't believe you. When people, you have this thing that you want to say, you want to share, you know, you get, yeah. I knew Cassandra was right there. I knew it. I knew it. I'm getting so intuitive with astrology now. It's like I knew I sense in you, I sense in the sitter, and then I go into the charts and I'm like, hello. So yeah. But yeah, so you dream about those where you say you share something and it's like even today probably, do you still experience that today sometimes? If you when you share a vision with someone,
Yeah, sometimes. Okay.
you have the vision. You do. And it's not retrograde, so it's not something you necessarily doubt. You actually it's there. You embody that. I think what the key I think the key here is to not only do the shadow work. I would say start with the shadow work, but really go into the trauma of that stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
So have you heard of Teal Swan?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. There's a book that she has called The Completion Process, but I have a PDF copy of it. I've tried doing sessions with it with people where we go through a specific emotion. You have to go through the emotion. And the reason you go through the emotion is because it's connected to the subconscious, back of the brain. That's where the trauma lies. So if we go deep into that, we figure out it's like, what is it about these things? I don't know I don't know. I feel like it's tied to this. It's tied to releasing all of that.
Okay.
Um, Unless because you hold on, because your Mars and Pluto is already in the first house, you do embody the instinct. You're highly instinctive. Um, a lot of water in you. But there's a lot of fire in you as well. So it's it's about making because the representation of water to fire is that you have to die. This is why I'm not saying die literally, but you have to die to be reborn, right? Water, fire. So I don't know. I feel like with the earth stuff, it's tied to shamanism. I don't know. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe. I don't know. Something to do with the earth.
Nice.
So, okay. So that's that. I don't know what else to say because I if I open up more the chart like the my cheat sheet, it's just gonna slow things down and just like it's already like I'm holding you. It's 9 o'clock for you. So and it's 11 my time. So um any questions? I think that's about it. For now. We can
Um,
there's always time to go back to things we need to.
yeah, it would be cool to do it again if you wanted to. Like if you wanted to go into those other charts, the asteroid ones, I'd totally be
Uh
down for that. If
well we
later,
did go
not
through
well, like which ones were you saying just a minute ago?
what do you mean?
I thought you were saying that there was some of the asteroid ones that we could visit later, or
Ah, yeah. Like we could or was it the fixed stars? I don't remember. Oh, the
that's
black
pretty cool.
holes. Are you talking about the black holes? Because that's I don't know. I don't have a lot of details on those because again, there's not really much on those because they're black holes is way out there.
Hmm.
Um, but the asteroids, we've pretty much gone through the general stuff of the asteroids because again, I couldn't open the details of the files. So yeah, okay, yeah, we can go through that again. But if you have any, like, because we went through your life path,
Hmm.
um, there's other things we could definitely go through. Like, you mean the asteroids, like for the places.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, if you want, I mean, I don't know, like you do. Sure, yeah, we could do that. It's just places. Well, they are significant, by the way. The places are not just places. I noticed that, for example, like my path ahead, which is referred to as a north node, meaning like what my soul is calling me to do. The place that I've connected to my north node is Russia. I'm like, I don't want to go to Russia. Why would I go to Russia? But apparently, um, it means something else too. Like if you look at the history of Russia and look at it, and just like it's misunderstood, it's kind of like tyrannical. Yeah, I've had those experiences myself. I get kind of I used to get really controlling. Um, yeah. So yeah, so it ties in with the place as well. So
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, we could do that. I kind of want to be upfront with this one. Um, because it's in the community. And I did initiate this one from my end, like I initiated it. Can you sense what I'm about to say?
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. Like, that's
How
cool.
did you know what I was gonna say? Wow, you see, you're so easy right there. I was kind of testing you in a way. Um, I would say just by donation. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me how to do that?
Um, PayPal,
Um,
yeah, or
okay.
e-transfer.
Okay. I
Um,
have to figure out how to I had Venmo.
I don't use
Uh,
Venmo.
okay. Oh,
Can
I
you do
can get
Venmo to another one, like another like PayPal? Is that possible?
or I can set up a PayPal.
What about e-transfer? You do that?
Uh,
You have to use their bank allow that? Do you still go through banks?
I go through a credit union.
'Cause if they do e-transfer, you could do that. But whatever,
I
just
can
yeah. Okay. No problem,
um
no pressure. I feel kind of sometimes I don't want
well
to force
if
anything, but that's why I said pretty
um
much.
what do I need to be able to do that? Like as far as your kind of information,
That's what I'm
does that
still
make sense?
figuring out. Like in terms of, are you talking about the amount or how or when?
Like how?
Oh, people that just sometimes just paid me through, or they donated rather to my PayPal. Some people who have PayPal account. But if it's e-transfer, I'm sure you can e-transfer. Just look it up. I'm not going to force anything. Just don't worry about it right now. Just go with the flow. It's all good. It's because I did
Okay.
initiate this one, so I'm not gonna. This one's like call it on the house, whatever. Doesn't matter. Because I initiated it. Remember, I initiated it. I didn't ask for it. So
Right, right. No, I
you
know
didn't
that,
ask for it. So
but
yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
but I'm saying if I do it through PayPal, what do I need for you? Just your name?
Oh, the email I use for the account. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll send it to you on Messenger right now.
Okay.
Um, what's bothering me right now is just like the file wouldn't it was slowing down. It's just like something is going on. I gotta check. I gotta empty out things. I don't know what's going on here. But let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay. 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 It's sent. Yeah, so
Awesome.
I wouldn't do it for this one. Well, yeah, because I initiated. I feel like energetically it's fine. Just because I initiated. So let's do another one next time, and that will be by donation. So,
Okay.
are you cool with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. I think that's it. Any questions you'd like to add? I'm still being recorded, but
Um, I think this was pretty cool.
pretty
It's
cool. Okay.
yeah, it kind of says a lot about like what I've been kind of feeling lately and where I'm gonna be going. That makes sense.
I feel like the Earth one is definitely a strong one.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
that
it
one.
doesn't mean
And
you. Sorry, go, sorry, sorry, sorry.
I was going to say the shape shifting part also kind of resonates a little bit too.
Okay,
Some stuff.
okay. That's good. Yeah, the thing about this, I wanted to share this one is like as astrologers, typically, I wouldn't say it's not a rule, but I noticed that instinctively, I'm just like, huh. I keep going back to my chart all the time. I keep going back. I keep going back. And it's like, what is going on? What's this? What's this? What's this? Because I use a lot of asteroids too. So that adds a huge fucking like, massive layer of like going back, going back. It's like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Why? Like I have my cheat sheet, but I don't memorize the cheat sheet. Why? It doesn't make sense. So when
Hmm.
I go back to it, I'm like, okay. I even go through things like what's called transits. It means that, I'm going to stop the recording. Actually, well, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this portion out. So, um, yeah, I go through like my cheat sheet, but it's like I don't memorize it. So, but sometimes I'll go through like a transit, meaning like the real placement of the asteroids and the planets and our planets, all of them, real time, like right now. So if I did one for today, like I can tell like what's happening. There's this one time I was like, there was construction going on here in front of the house. And they're kind of loud. But they also what happened was there was they they blocked. I wouldn't say necessarily blocked intentionally, but it caused like sort of some sort of barricade, and it prevented delivery from coming to the house.
Oh wow.
So I couldn't order for like about 2 weeks or something like that, that was still okay. But then I was like something clicked, and I was just like, look at the charts. And I looked it up and I did the transit for it. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, Cerberus. Okay, what's happening right now? Cerberus is in the way. And it was just like, hmm. Then I wondered, how soon, when will this end? So I looked at it and I was like, I calculated it based on how far Cerberus was in a specific point to where I'm looking. And it came out like approximately like about 2 weeks. And then guess what happened? I called the city of Edmonton. I said, how long do you think this will end? Like, do you know when this will, based on their contract, do you know this will end? It's, oh, in about like 1 or 2 weeks. Guess what happened? It did. Then I was just like,
2 weeks, huh?
oh. And I was like, first, wow, this happened. It even shocked me. I was just like, that was strange. Now, transit tend to work for like things that are outside of your control. If it's something like you are experiencing yourself as part of your body physiologically, physically, or if it's something you're actually, psychologically going through, then those are different types of charts. So I do go through those as well. Like right now, I have there's this chart called like a progression chart. I know I'm giving a lot right now. You don't need to know right now. But it's progression charts means like how much I've changed, how much I'm growing. In my progression chart, or rather the progress chart with my birth chart, my natal chart, like what you have right now, I have Mars. Um, is it Mars? I'm trying to look it up. Hold on. Mars is in Mars is in hold on 1 second. Oh, I have the sun in something about the sun or something like that. One of them is in Sagittarius. And it's now in Sagittarius, but before it wasn't. It was in Scorpio or something like that. I forgot. I'll look it up again. But Sagittarius in astrology rules the legs. And you know what I've been feeling for the past few months? It's like nerves that I can't, like it's tight. And I'm like, no matter how much I walk it, no matter how much I kind of stretch it, warm, hot, and cold, hot, cold, it's not going away. I mean, it doesn't hurt that much, but it's like, what's with all this nerve stuff? So I feel like that's more of a thing. So, anyways, the point I'm making is that I find that the charts will show most likely what's happening. Right. So, anyways, so We can
Nice.
go through some of the stuff that you're going through as well. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Brandy said that, how did she put it the other day? What was the word she used? Like you can, it was in one of the circles or whatever. She was getting like out of the shower and somebody asked where she was or whatever. And she
Okay.
said that you can like not, it's not telepathy, like psychic kind of almost.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that right? Is that, she said you
Psych.
can like see things and she said, hopefully you weren't like,
Oh, you
getting,
are you talking about remote viewing?
yeah, yep. That's it right
Yes, I
there.
can.
How does that work?
You can actually do it too. You just have to, for you, okay, so how does it work? So remote viewing is when you're psychically connected to the person or to, I did it actually, I remote viewed the White House in the pre during Trump's re-election. We saw some stuff. My friend and I were doing it together, and it was kind of fun. But it's like they said, I know someone who said, be careful about remote viewing because sometimes you may not know what you get. But remote viewing is when you see things through clairvoyance, and it's usually psychic because it's down here on Earth. But I find it's a little different. It's not necessarily, it is psychic, like it's through persons, but I don't know, for some reason, like for me, I can do it to like a place, like even if I've never been there and there's no one involved. So I don't, that's not psychic. What is that?
Right? Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Yeah. But I think it's something to do with I think it's only certain people who can, well, it's part of clairvoyance. That's what they say. But my clairvoyance is tied to Scorpio. If you look at my chart, if yours is also Scorpio, you have your past life, you actually can do it. I think yours is tied more to when you go deeper into the instincts. Like I think yours is not clairvoyance per se, but you can sort of remote view through like it'll come through clairvoyance, but I feel like for you it's tied to your body. So something about clairsentience, so feeling the textures and all that stuff. There's another
hmm,
one called clair something. Because usually you have to touch something to feel it. Um, unless it's clair like gustance, like the nose. Yeah. But you said you see things. Do you see things when you close your eyes?
not like, it's not like, not anything in particular. It's not like dark though. You know, like when you close your eyes, a lot of people, it's just like dark for them, whatever.
Okay.
You see a lot of
You see color.
color and
Because
like
I think that, okay.
patterns.
Because I think that if you were to do that, you have your Uranus and your Sun, but it's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is intuitive. You would have to directly connect with someone. That's part of that gift. But it's very like random as well. Whatever you're getting can be random because that's Uranus. Um, but you also have Neptune there. So it's like the pineal gland right away. So you do have clairvoyance. But it's what is that I saw in your chart? It is so it's in Sagittarius. Yeah, it's through Sagittarius is kind of hard to pick out. It's definitely intuitive, so it's high up here as well. But Sagittarius is located in the thighs, physically speaking. So if you feel it in your body, if you connect I think yours is a combination. So you have clairsentience, clairvoyance, but there's also clairaudience. if you work with the clear audience, like your Mercury is the senses, or like sight and all that stuff, but it's in Capricorn for you with Saturn. It's combined with Saturn. Saturn is through the bones and skin. So if you, this is why I said I knew I was like clairsentience. Okay, so you work with your clairsentience, and then you probably appear somehow through claircognizance, which is just knowing, right? But if it's tied to, let me double check. Is it tied to? Oh no, it's not. Is it tied to? Hmm. It's not tied to your North Node. However, it could be. I think I saw some of the asteroids. If you try to work with, like you actually had to have to put, you actually had to, I guess you have to work on it. Oh no, it's in Sagittarius. Sorry, not in Capricorn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Able to get it. Yeah, it's to the skin. So it is clairsentience. My mistake. It's not clear. It's not Capricorn. Sorry. So I thought it was like the skin, but it is Saturn still. So Saturn is there. So that means it's still going to be here through your skin and the bones. I don't know if you want to go with the knees. But you know how people say, like, "Oh, it's raining. It's gonna rain. I can feel it in my knees." I don't know if it's an actual thing because I saw it from a TV and I was like, "Is that a real thing?" Anyways, but it is through your skin, definitely through your skin. And then claircognizance is claircognizance. Let's see. You have Jupiter in Uranus, in Aquarius. So have you ever tried? You know what? Have you? Okay, so you've heard of Wim Hof?
Wim Hof? No.
Okay. Here's one easy way to do it. But don't do it because of the psychic abilities. Do it because of health. Look it up. Wim Hof method. WIM. And then his last name is
W-I-M,
Hof. HOF.
no H. WIMHOF?
Yeah, two words. That's his name. He's Dutch. He does the breathing. There's a part of his method, and then cold showers or later ice baths, which I think you'll be okay with. That will that will help you trigger more of your psychic abilities, to be
Okay,
honest. Yeah.
cool. Um, oh, what is your YouTube channel? Is it just your name?
Uh, oh, Plutonian PP. Peppy actually. PEP. Plutonian Peppy. PEP.
Sweet. I want to check that out some more.
I haven't been posting as much recently because I'm just been busy and I don't know, it doesn't come to me. There's a bunch of stuff in there, but there's meditative stuff in there. I don't know, I'm just doing what I can. There's other readings there too.
Cool.
Um, yeah. I don't know if
Awesome.
it's exciting, but some people like it. I don't know. It's the music that's for me. It's I'm being called to do more music there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice. You do guitar, huh?
classical guitar, flute, and clarinet sometimes. Right, a lot of it's meditative, or just like downloaded. Sometimes it's just downloaded to hear. I didn't realize I've been doing that for like a long time. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So yeah. I don't know if I should sing
Nice.
though. I've done a little bit of singing there. It's not really singing. It's like it was like I don't know if you were raised in any religious. Oh, I think you were, right?
A little
Background.
bit, yeah.
And you've heard of the gift of tongues?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's kind of like that. But in this case, it's can be real if it's downloaded. Like it's almost trance, in a trance-like state. But I don't do that. I don't think I do that. I don't know. I just play whatever comes naturally. It just feels like that. And, yeah, so
Nice.
thank you.
Um, so I
Okay.
kind of have a different question. Like
Sure.
the you're, I'm sure you're like familiar with Gaia on like the TV Gaia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
Are
have a subscription,
those
but yeah.
um I was gonna ask if like those people are like I don't know, like legit to learn from, I guess.
I think they're more like I think they're more about sharing knowledge. Gaia is more about that. I don't, they kind of open doors uh for certain things like for example, like the pyramids or and then if you resonate with that, then either you do research directly on the pyramids or ancient Egypt or the alien stuff is there too. I don't know. Libby has that channel. Like you watch, do you have Gaia then? You watch it.
Hmm.
Oh no, you don't,
Yeah.
not yet. Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
have it. Yeah.
Oh, to me to learn from regarding what?
I don't know. Like, I was watching one this morning about, dang it, I just said it earlier, where you can communicate between like the brains with other people. Not, it's not teleporting. It's,
Neurotransmission?
yeah, yeah, pretty close to the same
Okay.
thing.
But not telepathy.
No, yeah, it was telepathy. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, it yeah, it can happen because you have to be on the same wavelength as the person. If and wavelengths comes through, I mean, the frequency. Your frequency is different from my frequency, but in order to get there, we have to have a sort of a specific bond. Like that's why we're able to do the mediumship stuff. That's technically telepathy. It's connected, I feel. It's connected to that. Some people might disagree. Like, no, that's not really telepathy. But I'm like, no, it's all the same. It's energy.
Hmm.
So, but like usually this is why, but with mediumship, um, you have to go a little higher than psychic because psychic is here and then mediumship is, when I say here, I don't necessarily mean level. It's like, it's kind of like if you can imagine this universe, right? It's like a ball, like a sphere or an oval shaped thing, whatever. The further you go, the denser it is. So that means that it's not going to be at a higher frequency because it's not further out there. So further you go, the denser it is. It's like you see like this air right here, right? You can't really see like the dust, but if you shine light on it, you can actually see it. But if you try to suck in all the dust, but in a sort of this ball, you'll see it. It becomes denser. And so
Hmm.
well, you know what density does, right? It's like trying to blow air into like solid rock. It's not going to go through. So it has
Right.
to break apart, right? So I feel like when it comes to the energy transfer in telepathy, we have to go higher because it's a lighter frequency. It's a higher frequency, lighter, whatever you want to call it. It's further out. And so therefore, for us to communicate with them, let alone like at least with mediumship, because psychic is a little bit easier because it's my person to person, right? But if you're going to go mediumship, you have to elevate your frequency. But to do that, we have to go into higher vibrational emotions. It's connected to the emotions. So, in order for it to go up, one of them is gratitude, practicing it every day, um, and healing, doing a lot of healing. But the goal is not to really heal. The goal is to learn from that. And what is that really? But because why do we want to heal? It's like a wound, right? Oh, it's
Hmm.
uncomfortable. But the goal is not to heal the wound. The goal is to let our inner intelligence, which is source energy, to be okay with that wound. This is why, why wounds heal faster when you don't cover it?
Hmm.
Yeah, if you clean a wound and just let it be, it's going to heal faster than if you put a band-aid on it or, you know, right? So that's how it is. It's represented to the physical. So healing
Okay.
naturally does happen. So the goal is not to heal. The goal is to be present with it. It all comes down to being present. And then from the presence and just being surrendering to it, you will know what this means. You have Pluto in your past life. You will know you have, I believe that you are still learning it, but you can learn through it again and be like, surrender, surrender, surrender. The power is not you. You are, the power is in you. When I say you, as in like the human you, it's a, you know, it's a fragment. Every human, you and I, are the same thing of the bigger thing. We are fragments of the bigger thing. So
Right.
exactly. Right? Just like the universe thing I told you about. So it's fragmentation, but that's part of the process. At least in this universe, apparently, according to Teal Swan, there's other universes out there that are like, it's just different. The rules are different.
Hmm.
So in this universe, that's what it is. So we have fragmentation. That's how we learn. Right. Um, so I kind of digressed a bit there, a lot actually. So, so telepathy, I would say, is can happen more on a psychic level.
Okay.
Yeah. They might have it in Gaia though. I don't know. Yeah. So, but if you're really interested in that stuff, like yeah, try the cold shower. No, don't go straight into cold shower. Look up Wim Hof method, do the breathing, because with the Wim Hof method, what happens is that you actually open the nerves. It's a natural painkiller. You get DMT. You've heard of DMT, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's natural DMT. Yeah.
Nice.
And then what happens is you start to have more meditative sort of like a feel to it. You very like, oh, it's cool. Very relaxed. But it's at the first for at first it might not feel like that. And what happens too is that yeah, it's a natural painkiller and your blood, the pH level of the blood goes up, it becomes more alkaline. So you become less susceptible to not only the pain, but also the body heals faster.
Okay.
And then you follow it with the warm shower first, followed by cold shower if it's your first time. Sometimes depends on your body. You have to listen to the body, right? But for beginners, so to speak, you have the warm shower first and then 5 seconds maybe of cold shower. If you want to go longer, if you can take it, great. Listen to the body, listen to the body. And having the capillaries open gets you used to the cold shower in conjunction with doing it every day. And you train your body. It's a training. That's it. And that will also help you with your psychic abilities because it's cold.
Okay.
In fact, the colder you go, I think it's more surrendering. And you surrender. When you surrender, do you see the connection between surrendering and then like cold and then connecting? Because it's not like when people go
Yeah.
into, yes, okay.
Oh yeah. No, I see. Yeah, I see a connection.
Yeah. Because some people, there are people out there who like put logic into it. It's like, no, that's not going to work.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to trust, surrender. Same thing. But to get used to the surrendering, you cannot put the mind into it. You have to surrender to it and then trust it, and then it will come.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have it.
Cool.
I know you do. So
Awesome.
I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions later, and then awesome. Yeah, we'll do more like I'll try to fix the whole thing. I'll see what happens. That's towards the end. Just like maybe I'll divide my book into two types of books because I'm like there's so many already. So, but anyways, maybe
Sweet.
it's an obsession. Sorry.
This is sweet.
Okay. So I'll see you later. Thank you so much for all that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
no problem. My pleasure. I was curious about it.
I
So
appreciate it.
okay. You have a good night. Unless you have like the typical Pisces energy. I can't sleep.
It'll probably be a little bit still.
Okay. 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 Well, I'll see you later. If you're coming, just I don't know if there's circles this week. If you're curious about that, but I would say instead of just watching from that, yeah, try to experience it yourself more. Like try the Wim Hof method. Do it one step at a time. Don't
Okay.
overwhelm yourself or anything. No,
Yeah.
no,
Awesome. Thank you for that. That
no
all
no
that.
problem. Yeah, okay. And we'll definitely
Cool.
talk more because we have the permaculture thing and all that stuff. So see where this goes.
Oh
So
yeah.
cool. Awesome. Okay. Thanks. Have a
Awesome.
good night, Brandon. I'll see you later.
You.
Thanks as well for being a guinea pig as well. Certain
Oh
way.
yeah. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you, Jose.
Okay. No problem. I'll see you. Have a good night. See you
You
later.
too.
Bye.